And on the USTEC, we have been witnessing some choppy situations in this market, though we had some trading opportunity during the last 24-48 hours in this market. So let's quickly run through how the week has started for us on this option. So at the beginning of the week, we saw the situation here where price action was trapped within a channel, like it has always been at the beginning of every week. We saw price action giving us a little consolidation phase between the 13,120 level and the 13,075 area. And you know what we look out for whenever we have this kind of simple setup? We either wait for a breakout of that resistant line for buying opportunity, or a breakdown of the support line for selling opportunity. And you saw what happened here on Monday. Prior to our live session, we already saw the breakdown of that structure, and price was at that during the live session oscillating around the 13,100 level, and we agreed that we are going to be moving our sell stop order right below the structure so that we can capture that move. And during the New York session, we saw our price action broke down that level to trigger our sell position, and in fact price action moved about 95 pips in our favor before this bullish momentum began. Then on Tuesday morning, we saw the breakout of the resistant line happen here where we had a buy stop order. Remember, we had a buy stop order above the structure, so we saw the breakout of the resistant line here, which triggered a buy position. Price moved about 85 pips in our favor before the sell pressure resumed here. And if you recall vividly, on Tuesday during our live session, I told us all that for those who had missed out on this opportunity here, that we should wait for price to do some retest of structure. It could be the 13,150 or the 13,120, where we want to be looking out for buying pressure to join a trend continuation to the upside. But unfortunately for the buyers, that did not happen, as we saw the significant engulfing bearish candles slicing through both structures to emphasize the strength of the sellers at this point. And during that New York session that day, we saw our price drop below the 13,075 level, triggering our sell position, and at the same time breaking down that bullish trend line that we identified at the beginning of the week. For the sake of clarity, I would like us to look at that on the 4 hours time frame so that we can have a better perspective into what is going on. So we had this bullish trend line identified at the beginning of the week, and it was also a key level for us to guide our trading activity, as we agreed that if price action continues to range above that trend line, we shall feel comfortable in a buy position, and if it breaks down that trend line at any point in time, we shall start considering selling the USTEC. And look at what happened on a couple of days ago. We saw the breakdown of this trend line happen here, and during the early hours of later part of the New York session, we saw our price action came back to do a retest of that structure, which lines up exactly with a technical expectation that if price action breaks down a key structure like this, we want to see retest of level, confirming that price action will be going in that direction. And for those who took advantage of this opportunity, I'm so glad that you did this, and congratulations for you for being on standby to have caught that move. So if you still have a sell position running right now, my advice is that you want to be moving your stop loss accordingly, lock in some profit, and I think anywhere below the $13,000 mark seems most appropriate to lock in some profit at this point. So now that we have locked in some profit here, what is going to be our plans for the week, for today rather, and how far will this bearish move going to go? Now, one thing I would like to say here is this: after looking at how price action started from the 13,200 on Tuesday. We had this impulsive move. We saw a retracement looking more like an harmonic move right now. How far will this go? The only way we can get this is by using our Fibonacci extension tool. And if we run it through the impulsive move before that retracement, we should be aiming at an area between the 127.2 and the 1414 area of that Fibonacci extension tool for our TP target. So that falls within the $12,850 level and the 12,900 area has our TP target. So we have a TP target within this 12,900. Let's round that off there. So we are around the 12,900 seems to be where the potential TP target of this bearish move is likely going to culminate, where it now depends on how price action reacts to that level that will determine if we are going to be adding more sell position to our existing trade, or we are going to be getting ready to buy the USTEC at that point. So potential TP target labeled here, let's call it the 12,900 area, 12,900 zone. Okay, let me put it like this. Place it right inside the box, and we put it in the center and give us a yellow color. Here we go. So we have the potential TP target zone around that 12,900 zone. Now, if you are not part of this trade already and you're still thinking of joining this move, then how do we intend to sell the USTEC for today? So the first thing I will do right now is to acknowledge the bearish momentum that started a couple of days ago. So by bringing our line chart, connecting the series of lower highs, we have this trend line. So I will give it a red color to emphasize its bearish strength. Then we bring back this. So this is what we have right now. So let me delete. I will have to delete one of these structures so that okay, I will delete this one and then extend a $13,000 further. That's a very strong, important key level right there, considering the round figure of that price. So I would want to see price action come back into the $13,000 level. So for those who had missed out on this opportunity, then you want to remain patient here, wait for price to, since we already have a breakdown of the structure with this beautiful engulfing bearish candle, and you know, from a technical standpoint, whenever we see price action break down a key structure, we expect that one point in time we are still going to see a retracement to retest that structure, where the appearance of selling pressure below that level on our lower time frame will give us more opportunities to join that decline to the downside. So we have the trend line and the $13,000 mark for another sell positions to be added to this current sell position. Now, as soon as price continues to the downside and gets into that TP target zone, I want us to remain patient at this point when price gets into the zone, as we want to see how price action will react to that zone to give us a clue into a possible trend continuation to the downside, or we might be getting ready to join a reversal pattern. So what we are going to be looking for around that zone are this that I'm going to illustrate right now. So if price action drops into the structure at any point in time, and we start seeing sharp rejection of that level, where we begin to see buy pressure resume on our lower time frame, and price action possibly transitions into a reversal pattern, then we might be looking at a buying opportunity to join that counter trend. And if that happens and price action continues to the upside into the $13,000 mark, as soon as it gets into that structure, you move your stop loss, lock in some profit, as we want to see how price action reacts to this level to determine if we are still going bearish or not. And if a breakout of the $13,000 happens, then the trend line would have been broken, which is a sign that the trend line is no longer strong to hold selling pressure. So if that happens, strong enough to hold buying pressure, and if that happens, then we are going to be looking at buying opportunities above this area to add more position to our buy trade. So that is one scenario from the TP target zone. And if price action breaks down the TP target zone to the downside, then we will have no choice than to look out for more opportunities to add more sell position to our existing trade. So the 12,900 area is a very critical point to monitor today if price action ever gets into that level. So let's keep this in mind while we continue to monitor price action in this market. So that is that on the USTEC. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comment section.